Hello lovelies, welcome back to my channel. Welcome if this is your first time of stopping by. Hi, hello, please consider subscribing to my channel. To my old subscribers, I say thank you very much for all your support. I really appreciate it. You guys know I appreciate it, right? And I will see you at the end of the video, and I hope you enjoyed this one too. So today's video is going to be a simple one, and I'm going to start by folding my fabric into four. So this style is not going to have a zipper, so no zipper allowance, but what I folded is my bust measurements plus about 5 inches extra for it. Then I marked out my rough edges, and for this, because it's an off shoulder, I'm going to deduct 5 inches from my total measurement, and I placed it there. And what I added in about 2 inches for joining and folding of the upper part, but my measurement, remember, is starting from 5 inches. So I'm going to go ahead and then mark my remaining measurements, and my length is 30 inches divided minus 5. That's what I marked there. And this style is for a 5 to 6 year old princess. Later on, I had to deduct some inches from the down part, which I will show you guys at the end, as we go on to the video. Then I slanted my armhole by 3 inches and then connected to my neck shoulder line. Should I call this shoulder line? Yes, to my shoulder line. And that's all for the cutting. It's just a simple cutting, and we're going to go into this sewing tutorial. I hope you to see you at the end of the video. Please don't forget to give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed this video. Share my videos to family and friends, and I apologize for not posting videos all this while. Mother duty is called for my 100% attention, and I hope I'll be posting like I used to do before. So like I told you guys, I wanted to reduce the length of the gown, because I decided to add gathers at the down part of it, which I think you're not going to make the same mistake I made, because this is a waste of fabric, to tell you the truth. So I deducted 5 more inches out of my length and then mark it. And remember that whatever you're going to deduct, if you want to deduct 5 inches, bear in mind that you're going to add like extra 1 inch or half inch to join the gathers at the down part. And this is it after I was done. I'm going to go ahead and stitch down the two sides of the gown. And this is it after I was done stitching it down. The next thing I'm going to do is to use the fabric bias. I have about 1.5 inches to turn the armhole inside out. I'll be outside in. So I'm going to go ahead and stitch the first just like I'm pinning it down. That's how I'm going to stitch this down, and then I'm going to go ahead and flip it over, make the first fold, and then make the second fold to close the the rough edges, and then stitch it down. So this is going to serve as a ruffle or gather at the shoulder part. For the length, I have 7 inches. I'm going to go ahead and then fold this with 1 inch, stitch it down, or you can as well serge it and then fold it with half inch. Then the next thing, the length is going to be as long as you want it, as full as you want your gather to be. So this is it after I was done folding the armhole, and this is the one that will be at the shoulder, the ruffle at the shoulder, the gather at the shoulder. So I'm going to go ahead and make my gather. I made a loose stitch at that place, and then I'm going to pull it to make my gather. And for my round shoulder measurement is 28 inches for my round shoulder measurements. You can measure your own as well. So the next thing I'm going to do to attach this, I'm going to get the center of my body, then the center of this gather. There's 2 ways of doing this, and this is the first one, but I think I prefer the second one. It's a lot easier. So once I get the center of it, I'm going to separate the bodies. We have front and back bodies, and then I'm going to place it front gather onto the back of the bodies, and then I'm going to stitch this all the way from that place to to the other side. Remember, at the armhole area, we are going to have like where your armhole is going to pass through, just like I'm showing you, and then you are going to stitch it to the down, then close the ruffle. And so for the second one, I get you there. So for the second one, what I'm going to do is to close the down, this the back of it, and this is it after I was done closing it. So after I was done closing the back one, the next thing I'm going to do is to bring the bodies, to attach it. And to attach it is more like we are wearing the gather onto the bodies. You're going to get the center just like I notched the center before, and then pin it down. The way I place it now is not how you're going to place it. You're going to like wear it on the bodies, just like I'm changing now. If you place it like this, you won't be able to stitch it all the way around. So we are going to place it this way. Remember, the front of the gathers facing the back of the bodies, and then you're going to stitch and pin the other side, the back one as well, with the center, and then stitch the two shoulders. Then while stitching the shoulders, the ruffle, the remember the shoulder area will be longer than the normal shoulder, so you are going to gather it into the ruffle. But if you don't want to gather it like that, you are going to I'm going to go ahead and make a separate gather before I attach the ruffle. So I'm going to gather this to get my 12 inch, my 11 inches for my shoulder. So when I was done gathering it, I'm going to go ahead just like this. I'm going to go ahead and then attach this ruffle to it. So when I was done pinning it down, I'm going to go ahead and then stitch the front and the back. I think this second method is a lot easier than the first one. And then stitching it down, we have the opening for the armhole. So this is it. After I was done stitching it down, I'm going to go ahead and then flip it to the right side. And when I flipped it to the right side, I'm going to go ahead and then top stitch it. And then at that armhole area, you're going to also flip it, fold it inside, and then top stitch that one as well. And this is it after I was done top stitching this. The next thing I have is the fabric I want to use to attach the down part. So I've gone ahead to fold the two edges, but you can as well serge this before you attach. So I'm going to attach this on top of this. I'm not using it to, I'm not turning it to with the other one. I'm just placing it on top of the bodies, and then I'm going to use little place to attach this all around. And this is it after I was done attaching this. The next thing I'm going to do is to flip it over to the wrong side so that we can attach our elastic. And for my elastic, I have about 12 inches for this. Then I'm going to measure from my 5 inches to 13 inches. My half length is 11. To 12 inches, my half length is 11, but I decided to attach this as 12 inches. You can also attach it at 11 inches if you don't want it to be way up. So I'm going to pin this down, then take it to my sewing machine. Remember, you are stitching on one side of the bodice, and while stitching it, you're going to pull the elastic before stitching this down. And this is it after I was done stitching it down. I'm going to flip it to the right side so that you guys can see it well. And this is it after I was done. The next thing I'm going to do is to make a little like a sleeve for this. And for that, I have the length of, remember we deducted 5 inches, so I'm going to measure that 5 inches plus 1 inch allowance for attaching. Then for the width, we have that at 4 inches. I'm going to close it at the right side, stitch it down, and then go ahead to turn it inside out. Then the next thing I'm going to do is to attach this to the bodies. Where I attached it is where my, remember the shoulder, whatever we did inside, that's where the beginning of it, that's where I attached it. Or you can as well come in maybe by 1 inch if you don't want it to be too off. And that's all for this tie. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please give me a thumbs up if you do. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't subscribed to my channel, and I will see you in my next video. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.